Welcome back to Hello Nigeria. Now we have our second guest. This is a personal favorite of mine. I really, really like conversations like this because they inspire you, they encourage you, they motivate you, and they make you realize that there's really so much to live for, and we complain too much about a lot of things. But when you see people like this who are breaking and shattering glass ceilings, you're inspired. Today we are joined by Victor Nwogu. Now, Victor Nwogu is a media personality, and he's an actor as well, a Nollywood sweetheart. And today he's here in the capacity as Nkubi, not just Victor Nwogu. You know him on Aside Hot as a TV presenter with Chukwudi, but today he's here as my guest. How does it feel to be on the other side when asked the questions?
In all sincerity, I'm uncomfortable, sort of.
Because you're the one that always asks people questions.
I'm at the receiving end now.
All right, good to have you, Nkubi. Thank you
Thank you very much for having me.
So we decided to bring you because of this conversation. We're speaking about the month of October being the International Dwarfism Awareness Month. And we want to hear your story and your journey. So at what point in your life, the first time you probably noticed you were living with dwarfism, how old were you at the time you noticed?
Well, in all sincerity, growing up, you notice you spot out some, character, some form of character, this thing from, from individuals. And I think I can still take it back to when I was little. I actually noticed the fact that, look, I looked different from every other regular individual. And the kind of responses and reactions you get from people is enough to just, it is basically enough to just spell out that fact that, look, you are different. And I guess that is why you're receiving these reactions from individuals, from passerbys, and a couple. Right from when I was little, that is when I spotted, when I noticed.
And when you noticed, how was it for you? What was the amount of support that you got from family?
Well, at that early stage, I did not really see it as an issue. Maybe because I was still very little then. But growing up, when the reaction now got so deepened, when I become so conscious about it, and you hear people spill out words that you find annoying and irritating, that is when it got to me. And talking about my parents, I mean, I'll forever be grateful to them. Of course, I'll forever be grateful to them because the fact that they notice the fact that, look, you are different from every other individual, but still, that will not take away our responsibility. That will not take away the fact that, look, we still have to at least give you the very best, discipline you when necessary, send you to school, and, treat you the same way we treat your siblings. So basically, I mean, and that has been able to define who I am today.
And today you're not just a TV presenter, you're an actor, and you've done so well with your career, but you weren't always this person. I'm sure at some point in your life you must have dealt with some sort of low self-esteem.
Yeah, well, it's a general syndrome for little people. It's
not just, it's for everybody. I promise you, everybody has dealt with it.
But there's still a gap. Your level of self-consciousness is probably different from mine. Because one, of course, looking at the society we live in, it's an average, high-dominated society. And when you have conspicuous people like us, being spotted out in the midst of tall people, it makes us very uncomfortable. And compared to the other end, where you have people, normal, average height people. So for me, I mean, now it has always been an issue growing up. And to tell you the truth, even as I am an adult right now, at some point, I still feel a bit of that low self-esteem, but I try as much as possible to to contain it and ensure it does not take over me at that point in time. So that is basically, it's usually a part of an individual's lifestyle. No matter how big or how famous or how reputable you are, there's still that moment when it will hit you.
And what would you say were some of your greatest fears, at the point when you were growing up, and even till now? What would you say were some of the fears that you nursed? Okay,
this is it. If you look at it, a society where you feel, okay, you probably might have just little to offer. A society where in as much as you have a lot of dreams, you still feel, look, who do I look up to? And when I mean looking up to someone, taking it away from average height individual now, I mean there's something that will say, okay, fine, this is an individual that looks like me, that I can look up to because of what he has achieved. And at that stage of my growing up, there was nobody to look up to, no little person, no dwarf individual to look up to that can at least give me that that level of confidence. But still, the major thing is I still stood my ground and ensured that, look, okay, fine. In as much as you've not been able to at least spot out that individual, still look around you and spot out individuals that you still feel can add a bit of values or some level of values in your life. And that is why, as I speak today, I sincerely don't have an individual who I would say this is my role model.
You are the role model, Nkubi. You have become that individual that would beam the light and shine the light for other little people as well. People would say, Nkubi did it, so I can do it too.
Exactly.
So you've really broken and you've shattered the glass ceiling for other people.
Exactly.
So well done and thank you.
Thank you very much.
What are some of the things that you wish were different in terms of our economy, our government, to make life easier for little people? It's easy for us to complain about how difficult things are in Nigeria, but we can't see it from your eyes. So if you had the opportunity to speak to policymakers, what would be some of your greatest complaints and what would be the differences you want to see?
Beyond just passing out policies that will favor special people like us, at least let it revolve around. We have the physically challenged who also have a lot of challenges, who are faced with even more deeper challenges than us. If I would rather be very factual about this, it's as if the government in place, government over time, don't really classify, fiscally and specially challenged issues as issues in quotes. They just say it, well, they will live their life and, pass. You understand? After all, what value would they add to the society? But we have seen societies where this same set of people have been able to at least break records, have been able to at least place their name in that historical record, in that record that will always span for many years to come, for centuries to come. And that is what we should at least encourage our government to do. Areas where they feel they can at least impact so much, courage in our life, such as getting us so integrated in the general activities of every society. Job employment, a convenient and enabling ground that can make life also very appreciable. You understand? So that is basically what the government, on their own part, should also look at addressing. Because, well, from what we have right now, very sincere, we don't have such. We don't have such. And even the little, they tend to preach so much about, they tend to claim they have offered, still cannot be compared to what advanced countries and even other smaller countries are doing for their own physically challenged and specially challenged individuals. So we really need to do more.
We're a far cry. What is on ground is a far cry from what it ought to be.
Exactly.
Let's talk about you a little bit more before we wrap up this conversation. Now, this is the opportunity for you to blow your trumpet. And not blow your trumpet because of you, but because of other little people who would watch and think, Nkubi did all this, Nkubi can do this, therefore I can. So what are some of the highlights of your career so far? What would you say are some of the most interesting, areas of your life? I know you're a TV presenter.
I'm an actor.
Exactly. So go ahead.
Well, TV. I keep telling people that I stumbled into this profession because okay, fine. I studied theater art in the university. So I never for once envisaged or probably thought of it never really occurred to me that, look, one day I will find myself, presenting a program or running a program. But, out of nowhere, the job came. And sincerely, it has been an eye-opener. I've been so privileged to at least meet people, people that have inspired me. I've been privileged to at least meet a lot of people I've actually looked up to while, at a particular stage in my life. I've been privileged to at least see people look up to me as well. That, look, we like what you're doing. And this is definitely what I definitely want to maintain and ensure that, look, I keep up with it, irrespective of, the physical, nature you tend to see. But at least live that life and ensure you impact and inspire people.
So you stumbled into TV. Did you stumble into acting as well?
No,
I think that was part of the plan. You
studied
studied theater arts as well.
Yes, I studied theater.
And how's that going for you?
Well, it's been fun. It's been fun. And the reason why I said it's been fun is this. Well, we thank God for social media. Thank God for Instagram. Thank God for at least social media generally. At least we beyond just TV itself right now, where you have movies being played, where you have a lot of celebrities, a lot of movie actors, their movies being televised. At least we have moved away from that regular TV thing to other aspects of entertainment. And that is where social media now comes in.
Yes,
Facebook, Instagram.
New media is
that is why we have
over.
Instagram celebrities, Facebook celebrities.
And you are definitely an Instagram celebrity
so I mean,
as well.
so basically, at least we really need to at least establish our own ground where we feel we can establish it.
I will definitely come to talk about Mr. Keriku. He has a series on Instagram, Mr. Keriku and Mrs. Keriku.
Mrs. Keriku.
Mr. Mrs. Keriku. So you can follow him on social media to find that out. We'll get to know what your handle is shortly. But are you married?
Olive, you know I'm not.
I'm just asking. We don't know. In this day and age, everybody's coding their
relationship. I can't be secretly married and the entire world will not know.
Okay, did you at any point nurse fears with regards to marriage and with regards to choice of a life partner?
Oh, yeah.
And have you overcome it yet?
Yes, I have.
You sound so confident. Are you in a relationship?
Well, let's keep that aside.
Aha! So you see why I asked if you were married, because I know people like to keep all those sides very private.
Let's keep that aside.
All right, but we look forward to seeing how that plays out. Nkubi, I almost called you Chukudi. What's the plan for the future? Where do you hope that Nkubi would be in another 5, 10 years?
Well, in all sincerity, every individual has his vision and dreams, and but in the society where we live in Nigeria, in quotes, where visions tends to die. But I would not want to let me just put that aside. But the thing is, at least in the near future, at least I intend having a production house of my own, and focusing basically on documentaries and productions basically. It
feels like somebody's spilling my head, like spilling the ideas in my mind. That's
so
brilliant.
That's just basically what I intend.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Nkubi, for sharing your
journey
with us. You are such a delight. You're such an inspiration, and your life is a beacon of light to many. So please don't stop what you're doing. On the days when you're down and you're encouraged, remember that there are many people that are looking up to you, and there are many people's destinies or fulfillment of their destinies is tied to you fulfilling yours. So I'd like you at this point, to give a word of encouragement to any little person out there who's discouraged, or any parent who has a child that is now in that category and is feeling discouraged. It's not the end of the world. You have been there. You have been there. You are still there. So you're the best person to speak to them.
Okay, this is it. We live in an era where people are becoming very enlightened. People are becoming very informed compared to a particular stage in our era where a lot of thoughts, a lot of primitive, superstitious thoughts tend to revolve around people's mindset. But right now, we live in a world where people are beginning to see life the way it is. And if you have that little person, either as a child or sibling, or just bear in mind that that it is what you impact into that child that child will eventually produce. So in my own case, my parents gave me what I have been able to I am a reflection of what my parents impacted in me. So in the same vein, I would want you to also look at that child and say, okay, fine, let me give you the best I can give you, and let us see what this would yield to you. And in the end, I don't see you getting disappointed or being, definitely I believe you have a reason to say yes. Thank you, Father, for at least for these massive results. What
a fantastic word of encouragement from Nkubi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
How can people follow you on social media?
Social media, Instagram, Nkubi_official, Twitter, Nkubi official, and Facebook, Victor Odochukwu.
And they can just check the hashtag on Instagram, Mr. and Mrs. Keriku, to follow the series. It is hilarious. You would laugh and you will thank me later.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.